Parashat Vayeshev. I need to ask you something. What was going through Yaakov and Yosef's minds? It is almost impossible to comprehend the dynamics of a family that, on the surface, seems to be probably the most dysfunctional family in the history of humanity. A father chooses to play total favorites with one of his children, and not only plays favorites, but flaunts it, makes sure that he has a unique garment to state to the whole world, oh, he's special, you're not. And Yosef, not only does he not try to tone down this favorite status, he needs to play it up. I understand you're having amazing dreams. You're a dreamer. That's great. Why do you need to share these dreams? You know it's upsetting your brothers. You know it's driving them nuts. Why do you need to rub their face in it? As if it's not enough, the storyline is very difficult to comprehend. Yaakov knows that Yosef can't get along with his brothers. He knows the situation is tense. So the brothers go out on a journey to go shepherd their flock out in Shechem, probably the worst neighborhood in the country. And what does Yaakov do? He takes Yosef and says, go out and see how your brothers are doing. Go see if you could try to make amends with them. See if things can work out. Did Yaakov not have any hesitation about sending Yosef by himself to the worst part of the country, where just last week we heard that he was worried after the destruction of Shechem that all the nations of the country will gang up on him? Is he not worried about sending him to the brothers who declared their public hatred towards him? And what was going through the minds of the brothers? These are supposed to be the children of Yaakov, the grandchildren of Abraham and Yitzchak. These are righteous people. What was going through their minds to think that they would slaughter their own brother? And even if they didn't actually kill him, is it correct to send their own brother into slavery? Well, within this framework, it is difficult to explain the entire magnitude, but I would like to give a direction to try to understand the dynamics that are interplaying here. It seems to be that there was a well-known family prophecy. It is a prophecy that is not spoken out loud because prior to Matan Torah, prophets were not supposed to divulge the content of their prophecy to others. But it seems clear that the brothers understood that at the end of the developmental process of the Jewish people, there will be 12 children, and each will represent a tribe. And this will be the building of the Jewish people. They have parallels. They see Ishmael already establishing 12 great nations from him, the Nesiim. Esav has the 12 Alufim. And now it is the time for Yaakov to build the house of Israel. Maybe it's not. Come Chazal and say an interesting comment. Yosef was worthy of having the 12 tribes come from him. Yosef was worthy. Interesting. Perhaps what Chazal are saying, that this was a possibility, a very real possibility. In fact, it is possible to understand the entire saga with a question that is festering in Yaakov's mind. A question that was not settled until the literally last stage of his life. Yaakov looks at his children and questions, could this be the house of Israel? Or perhaps the fact that I am having children from different wives. Perhaps the fact that some of my children are actually from the maids. Maybe these are not the heirs to the blessing of Abraham. He sees in Yosef something unique, something truly great. And that mark of greatness puts in his mind a question. He could see that indeed Yosef is worthy of having the 12 tribes of Israel come from him. Perhaps just as the generation before him and the generation before that, there will be yet another generation in which there is a process of a synthesis, of a cleansing, of a perfectionism, in which only the next generation will reach the final stage in which the greatness of the Jewish people can emerge. So he starts raising Yosef in a unique way, coaching him and preparing him to be able to take on this great destiny. He's not quite sure what would be the role of the brothers. He has many questions in his mind as to their destiny. Yosef picks up on this and is quite convinced that in fact he's the real McCoy. The Gemara tells us that the brothers had a strange halachic debate over Nechira, a very particular stage in the process of the slaughtering of an animal in order to make the animal kosher, to be able to consume it. Yosef says to his brothers, you don't need to worry about this, because you're supposed to be living your life according to the rules of the sons of Noach. I am the only one that has to adhere to the strict boundaries of halakha, because I am going to be the heir of the Jewish people. You, my dear brothers, are going to be excellent support staff, but that's all you're going to be. The brothers, in kind, saw Yosef as a true threat to their role in the destiny of the Jewish people. They refused to accept that they will be rejected out of the fold. And their argument was bitter and real. From Yaakov's perspective, Yosef was definitely part of the 12 tribes, either independently or as part of the rest of the brothers. So he sends Yosef out to his brothers to go explore this point. Go out, your brothers, see how well they conduct themselves when they are away from Yaakov's house, from my influence, when they're out in Shechem. See what level of spirituality they sustain. And let us discover. However, the tale takes a sudden and unexpected twist. All of a sudden, Yaakov finds out that Yosef is gone. From the brothers' perspective, they had the halachic and moral right to put the faith of Yosef in the hands of God. If God wants him to be part of the 12 tribes, let God deal with him, and we'll see what happens. But we know that we're part of the destiny of Am Yisrael. And if he wants to question that, if he wants to take us out of the fold, we have the right to push him aside. Perhaps Yosef will be forgone, and our father Yaakov will have to bring more children to the world. Or perhaps, as Reuven calculated, it is his responsibility to take care of it as the firstborn. Careful nuances in their discussions show this pattern time and time again. When Yosef is in the depth of despair in Egypt, he himself starts questioning his role in destiny. It is only as the story unfolds, which we will revisit again in 2 weeks from now, where Yosef discovers the great power of destiny and the importance of the unity of the Jewish people. Careful reading of this amazing saga shows us how the life of the brothers twist and turn as they try to balance their role in creating Jewish destiny, as opposed to allowing the destiny that God foresaw unfold by itself. Let us join together through this journey in a renewed and refreshing reading of the Parshiot ahead. Shabbat Shalom.